Have you ever decided that starting Monday, you are going to be a completely new person, maybe after binging a few too many motivational videos, only to find out that the old you is still very much running the show? Yeah. Making real, lasting changes, whether it's hitting the gym or quitting a bad habit, is just notoriously tough. But what if you had a map for that whole journey? Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, it's the perfect way to describe it, isn't it? You know you should do something, you've got all the logical reasons lined up, but there's this little part of your brain that just digs in its heels and screams, nope, not gonna do it. That internal tug of war is exactly why just deciding to change, well, it's usually not enough.
And this idea right here is the key to this entire explainer. We so often treat change like it's a switch we can just flip on. But the reality, it's a process. It's a path with all sorts of different landscapes and challenges along the way. And just understanding that it's a journey, not a single event, that changes everything.
So if it's a journey, well, we're gonna need a map. And luckily for us, two psychologists, a couple of guys named Prochaska and De Clemente, they actually created one way back in the 70s. It's got a fancy name, the Transtheoretical Model, but you can just think of it as a GPS for your own personality. It's a guide to help you navigate the really tricky terrain of personal growth. So here's the official breakdown. The big idea, the thing you really need to get, is that change happens in stages. The secret to success isn't just about having more willpower. It's about figuring out which stage you're in right now and then using the right strategies for that specific stage.
All right, so let's walk through this map together. We're about to visit 5 totally distinct lands on this journey of change. And I promise, by the end of this, you'll be able to pinpoint exactly where you are on your own journey.
Our first stop is what's called pre-contemplation. This is the stage where you're not even thinking about making a change. If a friend tells you to eat more veggies, you might say something like, hey, I'm 70% water, so I'm basically a cucumber. I'm fine. It's a land of blissful, happy ignorance. So yeah, the whole vibe here is denial. Change isn't even on the radar. And the goal? The goal isn't to go run a marathon tomorrow. It's way smaller. It's just to crack the door open a tiny little bit. It's about planting a small seed of curiosity that maybe, just maybe, a change could be a good thing.
So once that door is cracked open, you wander into stage 2. Welcome to contemplation, or what I like to call the land of the great maybe. This is where you've admitted there might be a problem, and you're just weighing the pros and cons over and over. The only downside? Some people get stuck here for years in what researchers call chronic contemplation.
The feeling here is just being torn. You are sitting on a very, very uncomfortable fence, constantly debating with yourself. The key objective, the only goal in this stage, is to find enough good reasons, enough pros, to finally tip those scales and make you want to hop off that fence for good. Now, once those pros finally win the debate, you enter the preparation stage. This is the exciting, okay, let's do this phase. You're not actually doing the new thing yet, but you're getting all your ducks in a row. This is when you're buying the new running shoes, clearing the junk food out of the pantry, or telling your friends your official quit date. You're building your toolkit for success. You can almost feel the energy in this stage, right? It's that mix of pre-game jitters and pure excitement. And the goal here is absolutely critical. You have to move from a vague idea to a concrete, realistic plan with a firm start date. This is where your intentions starts to become reality. And now, we're in the action stage. This is it. This is the moment. You're actually doing the thing. You're going to the gym, you're meditating every day, you're not smoking. This is the part everybody pictures when they think of change. And believe me, it requires the most energy, the most focus, and the most willpower of all the stages. The vibe here is just intense. It's all about focus, sweat, and probably a few moments of thinking, why on earth did I agree to do this? The goal is super simple, but it's not easy. Stick to the plan you made and learn how to dodge all those old triggers and temptations.
So if you can stick with that action stage for more than 6 months, you get to graduate to maintenance. And at this point, the new behavior is becoming a real habit. It doesn't take quite as much conscious brute force effort anymore. It's just becoming your new normal.
So now the vibe is mostly smooth sailing, and the goal here shifts in a really important way. It's no longer about just doing the action. It's about protecting it. It's about integrating this change so deeply that it becomes part of who you are. You're not trying to quit smoking anymore. No, you are a non-smoker. It's a fundamental identity shift.
Now, it would be awesome if the journey just ended there in maintenance land. But let's be real for a second. We need a reality check. Setbacks happen. And you know what? Understanding them is just as important as understanding the stages themselves.
You see, we tend to think of progress as this perfect, straight line going up. But it's almost never like that. In reality, it's much more of a spiral. You might be in the action stage, have a really tough week, and find yourself back in contemplation. But here's the key. You don't start back at square one. You've learned something. You're spiraling upwards. So, how you frame a relapse is absolutely everything. Don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as a data gathering mission. Seriously, what was the trigger? Was it stress, a specific person or place? You need to use that information like a detective to make your next attempt even smarter and stronger. Okay, so now that we have the full map laid out, let's make this super practical. It's time to figure out where you are right now on your own journey. This little tool is going to help you pinpoint your current stage in like 10 seconds. Okay, just listen to these statements and see which one really clicks with you. If you're thinking, I honestly don't see any reason to change, well, you're in pre-contemplation, and your best next step is to just get curious and learn more. If you're feeling, I know I probably should, but I'm just not ready, that's contemplation, so try making a simple pros and cons list. Just find the one that resonates, and you'll know exactly where you are and what to do next. And why does knowing this matter so much? Because now you have a filter. Instead of just randomly watching 100 motivational videos hoping one sticks, you can literally go search for advice that is specifically for someone in the contemplation stage or the action stage. It lets you find the right tool for the right part of the journey, which makes your efforts so much more effective. So, there you have it. The secret map to making real, lasting change. It's not about some magical burst of willpower that you either have or you don't. It's about knowing your location and just taking the right next step from wherever you are. The only question left is, now that you have the map, where are you going to go?